There is no God that exists in a way that is what people are using their belief systems to believe in. They are in a manipulation in order to do exactly this, in order to create the waves, create the tide, in and out like the breath. You have to know what you're doing, and it's not enlightenment, Jesus, all the prophet. It's the simplest thing on the planet if you just do it. What makes it hard? All of this, the conditioning, the thoughts, the way that we have spun around and we're out into beyond Pluto. We're our orbit is so far out from our center heart, so far out from our center space, so far out from where the actual love is. The chasing and running and trying to give it. That's how I love everyone, to the degree in which I can say that, because, and I know that's going to come up where I'm going to have intense energies come up. The love and the hate that we describe in the duality is mine. I own it. That's my energy. That's my emotion. That's my feeling. That's my responsibility. That's my duty. That's my responsibility. My ability to respond to the intensities of traumatic events. And the fact that I'm even speaking to anybody right now from this particular perspective is flat out a miracle. Flat out a miracle. And to the degree it's been, and continuing, has been my fear that I wholeheartedly admit is mine, wholeheartedly admit that it takes a shit ton of strength to go through to know what I know now, and it's nothing more than anybody else. Every single one of us are a genius. The brain itself, the heart, the body, it's all in an aspect. The only intelligence and the mind knows, the lower mind knows in the duality sense, is memorization. It has nothing to do with what's going on in this very moment. In this very, very, very moment, all it knows is what it knew a moment ago. It's always in a lag behind where the body is. And all we are experiencing the body is the reverberation until we turn the page. Burn the last page of the end and let a new beginning start. Do you know how you do that? In the beginning, the word. You just start focusing on bringing your orbit back to you in your own heart. Every new word, all of the yesterdays, all of the last weeks, last months, last Mays, last years are gone. The energy in which we focus our power towards, we provide. And why do we do that? Because of the intensity. So guess what that means? There's nothing wrong with what's going on right now. It's just time to do the pole shift. And it happens in waves. The first wave has rolled into the second wave. And it works on the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 1 and 1 become 2. 2 and 1 become 3. 2 and 3 become 5. 3 and 5 become 8. 5 and 8 become 13. Ophiuchus or Ophiuchus or whatever. The Golden Gate, the 13th zodiac, which is opening up and being created from the silver belt, the 30 pieces. We are all in a position where the scripture, the last page of the scripted literature, has come to its place to be put to bed. It's nothing more than a script. The amalgamation of human history is at hand, going through waves. And it's not about, there are, whomever this ends up reaching and beyond in the next short period of time, you are who I'm talking to. I don't know who that is, but it's somebody that's going to receive this.
The source within you knows who you are and is always reminding you. That's why at 313, some of those thoughts flow.
313. 13th zodiac, 13th floor. 13th floor is the floor underneath your feet, heel to toe, hell to sky.
I'm just thinking about as babies, there was a poet, William Wordsworth, who said, our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. Heaven lies about us in our infancy.
Okay, these things in regards to poetry and the old a resonance that we're having. Aeschylus is one of the first, when I first started this back in 5 years ago, when everything, the catalyst moment happened for me. Aeschylus was something that I just used it for the last time. We have to turn the page, okay? So pain, which even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget, falls drop by drop upon our heart, until against our will, and in our despair, against our will, comes the awful grace of God. Wisdom, the awful grace of God, by the awful grace of God. So that is the last turning of the page. Okay, Aeschylus is the godfather of Greek tragedy, going all the way back. So now we turn the page. Okay, so Wayne Dyer did his job. Okay, just as is quoted by Jesus all the time. Of the things I have done, you will do them greater. Because, again, enlightenment that everybody's chasing is the easiest, most simplest thing on the planet. Just people need to do it. And the number one practice that is free of charge, just cry. You make all this time to do all these other things, you know, all these different spiritual practices, but you don't do the ones that are actually already built in, because something external needs to or is required. And by the way, the whole aspect of putting out the energy, the hard work and the struggle and all of that we do, the 80 hours a week, guess what that is for? To disperse the energy we will not let go of, to get to the creativity. There's no other reason. You have to have faith. Trust that the universe inside of you has your back. You are the only one that is not rolling with the change. Change is all, it's flow, it's energy, it's movement, it's motion. You can't hold it and expect it not to blow, which is emotion. You are the ego. You are creating the ego. The energy manipulation, just meaning the flow, the in and out. Yes, the reality is in a situation with all of this other stuff, but it doesn't matter if you can't get to the fundamentals. I can talk to you all day long about hitting a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, but you're not going to get in the box and do it. I had to play from 5 years old to be able to get in there, and then if I told you, go in there and take a 4-mile-an-hour fastball off of the inside knee so that you can get on first base to score, which I did 1,000 times. You're not going to go in there and get hit by 90+ mile-an-hour fastball. The demonstration needs to happen. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter the size of your cup. It has to start being emptied. Because at this point, in the more population that comes in regards to the density in which the energy is in a descent, the gravity on the other end, the reality is, it's not the climate, everything that they're talking about, it's not articulated in any way, shape, or form with, in a practical sense, to where it makes sense and can be connected to everything going on. So, the first thing I would do is start, if you're Democrat or Republican, I would start dropping that label, because you're American and you're human. That's what you are first and foremost. And if everything is focused upon, by the way, your feeling up or down, or the waves that need to be made, is yours.